Hi everyone, welcome to Pedalboards today. This week we're going to be talking about lots of gear, including the Bliss Habit. But firstly, we want to talk about the boss of Boss, the president of Boss, more officially, Yoshi Ikegami. He has been with Roland for 44 years. He started out building and compiling the Space Echoes, the RE201s, and this week he announced that he is leaving Boss. And it's really sad because he has brought so much to us. And what a swan song that he is leaving Boss by releasing the RE2 and the RE202. It's a bit sad, but it's also beautiful, isn't it? And I would like to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much, Yoshi. Thank you. And all of us echo that sentiment. Also, Boss have leaked this picture, which is quite interesting. It looks like it might say something about counting 5. I'm not sure, but there is a link below that you can go and check that out on. Our friends over at Pedal Patch have announced this awesome range of relic patch cables, so you can get a real vintage look on your board. Really cool, especially if you've got some old beat up vintage pedals. That's really groovy. And Marshall, I've got to mention this because, you know, maybe they'll turn this into a pedal, but they've released the JCM 0, which they say if you've got no power, it's no problem. You've got 0 watts on it, 0 inputs, 0 outputs. The cleanest signal they've ever created. Valves not included, so this is an answer to the valve issue, and it's also an answer to the volume issue many people find it on stage. So that's really cool. Now into some other news, we are talking about the Bliss Habit. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, I really want to hear you do something with this, Lee, don't worry, Pedalboards team have this. We are demoing it today. Mikey will have the demo for you this weekend, so keep an eye out for that. But what the hell is it? Well, that's such a good question. I've been over it time and time again, and I think I've got it, but I've written some notes, so bear with me. Okay, on the face of it, this pedal is a delay pedal. The first 3 controls on it are very simple. Level, mix if you like. Repeats, which is how many repeats you get. Does it go da-da, or does it go da-da-da-da-da-da into infinity? And size is actually time. So it's the space between the notes. Does it go da-da-da-da-da, or does it go da-da-da, etc.? Okay? Very good. Then we've got a modifier control on it. Now the modifier control you can think of quite simply, and if I'm simplifying a lot of this, but you can think of it as delay type. So is it analog, is it digital, is it whatever. These are the different types and what they actually translate to. So the first one is step speed, and I'm not sure how to explain that one, so I'm going to move on to the next one, which gives you tape, wow, flutter. So it's that sort of tape thing, and it does the same if you turn it both ways. So at noon, the knob does basically nothing, and then you dial it in one way or the other for different effects. So there's more like, rather than 6, there's more like 12 effects here, but you got wow and flutter one way, and then wow and flutter the other way, but it introduces some sort of backing noise, like a tape noise. The next one is like a cut-off, and that comes into like a very choppy delay, like a tremolo, or you can have it so it dials in more like a digital pristine delay. Next one from there is smooth, and it's got a little bit of modulation on it, and sounds like an analog delay, but it can get really warbly. Then you've got a multi-mode filter, which basically a high pass or a low pass filter on it, which is very nice. And you've got a dropper as well, which this is a pattern delay, but you can either have it as a straightforward pattern, or you can have it as a random pattern, and that's going to give you some really cool glitchiness. Up to this point, it's actually quite standard. And then it starts getting crazy. Right? So what this thing does is it doesn't just delay the last notes that you've just played. It will delay anything from within the last 3 minutes that you played. So that's a bit crazy. You've got the spread knob. As you increase the spread knob, that will introduce a second delay, which can also repeat anything from the last 3 minutes of you playing. so you can have two coming in at the same time from anywhere. The further you turn the spread knob, the more in time with each other these delays will become, and as you undo, if you like, counterclockwise the spread knob, they will become more in competition with each other. And then the scan knob, what that does is quite interesting. If you have it in manual mode, you can say, I want you to only delay notes from the last 30 seconds, or I want you to delay the very last note I played. Or you can turn it all the way up and say, okay, I want you to delay any notes that were from the last 3 minutes. If you have an automatic mode, it will pick at random, automatically, a thing that you've already played from anywhere in the last 3 minutes. What the knob does in automatic mode is it will change where it's picking up the things to repeat, and what you're doing is you're changing how often it changes. So do you want it to change every time, or do you want it to change once every 3 minutes or something? It's crazy. The demos I've seen of this have been absolutely insane. It can also have randomness on the modifiers, so the way it modulates the delays can be randomized, or it can be consistent, so you can have each amount of modulation on an analog delay is the same as you would have on a standard delay. Or you can have it so one's normal, then it's like all over the place, then it's really wobbly, and then there's none, and that can be automated as well. And that's with the in control on, and then you've got the out control, which keeps it all the same. And then you've also got a feed, which feeds the signal out of the pedal back into it. And if you have it on collect mode, that will actually, instead of just like pushing it along, that will start compiling on top of each other. So if you're playing for like half an hour, you're going to end up with some sort of beautiful mess, and it makes my head hurt. But it sounds so good. It sounds amazing. So yeah, look, that is the Habit, okay? Watch our demo we do of it. No one makes demos quite like Mikey, so that's it. I'll see you next week. Bye all.